Salakia people, I had got cut off earlier. I got cut off on the video, and I'm gonna start. From where I left off. Okay, on Salakia, Kal Halal Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Yahweh Kakadash. This video is for educational purposes, news reporting, okay, and research only. And you're going to see all examples of that in this video. You saw it in the last video. This is a two-part video. It's a two-part video because the individuals cut me off. You know, what the fuck? I'm getting too close to the truth. So I'm going to start over, and I'm going to, hopefully I can finish up where I left off. Okay? Salakia. Oh, once again, my name is Mataza Lacham. Okay? Mataza Lacham, which means unleavened bread or pillar of bread in the Lashawan Kodash language. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders and bishops and other righteous men underneath them, whom I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Now, I'm going to finish this video. This is about the radio frequency identification subcutaneous implants.
People have to note it, but its essential elements will still remain intact, but that the Catholic Church itself would become compromised in that process.
Jeez. When we're talking about the social critics, the ruling through the economy.
Yeah.
And, you had mentioned the mark of the beast. It's just in the past, 6 years, I've heard lots of different things that could be the mark of the beast. The first one being the COVID shot.
Yeah.
The next one I've always heard is digital currency. Another one could be Neuralink.
Yeah.
And so what I want to ask is, this is, what are people supposed to do? Let's say that they do usher in the new digital currency, and I'm sure it won't appear to be the mark of the beast. But maybe it becomes more obvious, as time goes on with people holding out. I think about this all the time. I have kids, they're small. I have a wife, I have people that depend on me. What are we supposed to do if we can't eat, take care of ourselves, provide for our families? What are we supposed to do?
Well, I think there's,
if that's the only way you can survive, what are we supposed to do? Is the head of the family?
Yeah, the way the fathers of the church talk about, though, is they say that the mark of the beast, you can't receive the mark of the beast. So it's supposed to be something that's well, first of all, the mark of the beast is the inversion of what they call the mark of baptism. So when a person's baptized, God infuses a quality in the person's soul, which is a mark. And that's actually why, for example, in the baptism in the Catholic Church, there's a sign in which you actually take chrism and you sign it on the forehead as an indicator of that this person has been consecrated to Christ.
Okay, we're going to go back and do it again, right? All right. Right? Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem, like I said before in the previous video, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, as it is written in 2 Maccabees chapter 5, verse 19. Okay, go read it yourself. Okay, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay, now let's go get this mark, right? This mark,
Strong's H8420, Tav,
the wa, right? It's a desire, a mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. Okay? Define exemption. An exemption is a legal formal release from an obligation, liability, or rule that applies to others, such as tax payments, military service, blah, 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 or regulatory requirements. It implies impunity or freedom from a general burden. That general burden is the violation of the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. That exemption of the Most High, the wrath of the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? It's a formal release from that obligation, from the penalty of committing the sin. What is sin? 1 John chapter 3 verse 4 says, he that sinneth transgresseth also the law, for sin is transgression of the law. Okay, so the penalty for the transgression of the law is the cup of the Lord's indignation, his wrath, okay, to destroy you. Let's go back to Ezekiel and finish reading it. Okay, boom. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Right? These are the consequences of violating the law. The wrath of the Most High God through the sons of the Most High God, who are angels, ministers, spirits, and ministers of flaming fire, right? Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark of exemption, and begin at my sanctuary, right? Right? Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. His sanctuary are his inheritance, his people. Okay? Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house, right? The house of Israel, okay? Who would be our leaders, okay? Pastors, preachers. You see them being demonized and being caught up with all of this PDF philia type shit going on, right? You see? So let's go back to the video. Let him finish.
That this person has been consecrated to Christ through his baptism. The mark of the beast is going to be the inversion of that. So it's going to be something in our bodies that is going to be that will give us access to these particular things. Okay.
Like Neuralink.
Like it would be something similar to that, or it could just be something like an RFID chip, which then you just be able to walk in and they can scan it. They know who you are and they know that you can have access to the food and things of that sort.
Okay, let's go get it all over again. All right, let's go get boom, subcutaneous RFID implants. Once again, subcutaneous RFID implants are rice-sized biocompatible glass capsules containing an antenna and microchip, typically injected between the thumb and index finger to enable contactless actions like unlocking doors, storing data, or making payments. Used by tens of thousands, these passive devices require no battery but pose risks including infection, chip migration, and security or privacy concerns, right? Key aspects of subcutaneous RFID implants. Functionality. This function similarly is to contactless key fobs or payment cards, communicating with readers within close range. Implantation process. A small, usually non-medical procedure, often done by body piercers, involves injecting the chip with a preloaded syringe, often creating a small sting or minimal swelling. Common applications. Access control, unlocking smart locks on doors or cars, identification, storing medical info or personal contact details, payments, making purchases at contactless terminals. Okay? And they're not going into the risks and challenges or the security concerns or the limitations. They're not giving a shit about that. Okay? Alrighty? And this is what let me go into over here. This is what they're talking about, right? You have, right, the rice-sized subcutaneous implant, right, between your index and thumb, and then the Neuralink brain chip that the man was so concerned about. Okay? This is it. Understand? Right? Let's get back to the video.
You can have access to the food and things of that sort. RFID chip, which then, you just be able to walk in and they can scan it. They know who you are and they know that you can have access to the food and things of that sort. As an indicator of that there's going to be that will give us access to these particular things. Okay.
Like Neuralink.
Like it would be something similar to that, or it could just be something like an RFID chip, which then you just be able to walk in and they can scan it. They know who you are and they know that you can have access to the food and things of that sort. It could be the type of thing that they get to the point where you just don't even have to carry credit cards, or even that your bank account will just be linked to this chip that's in you, and because that's how they could actually do it. The thing though is that the fathers of the church say that you're not going to be able to get that chip without some type of renunciation of Christ. There's going to have to be some religious thing you're going to have to accept that is contrary to the will of God and contrary to Christ.
All right, let's go get that. Where is it at? Come out of there. Damn it. Hold on. Salakia. Let's go get it. David Spangler. Quote. Let me see. Quote about initiation. Misspelled it, didn't I? Initiation. Whatever. Boom. Here it is right here at the top. Damn. Wow. David Spangler, Director of Planetary Initiative, United Nations, February 3rd, 2016. No one will enter the new age unless he will take a Luciferian initiation. Okay? The spirituality of the earth is an invitation to initiation, to the death of what we have been and the birth of something new. Right? It always goes back to, right? Here it is. Another quote from David Spangler. No one will enter the New World Order unless he or she, let's pull it up and see what he says. Oh, what the hell is that? Okay. Where is he at? Here it is. No one, that's David Spangler, right? David Spangler quotables, right? No one will enter the New World Order unless he or she will make a pledge to worship Lucifer. Now, we all know Lucifer simply means light bringer, okay, or light bearer, okay? And the individuals that call themselves bearing the light, okay, are the so-called Illuminati. These Illuminati are the elites at the top who you'd never hear about in the news that run everything. Agriculture, trash, water, electricity, all of the major corporations that you may have seen on the previous video of businesses that are shutting down in order to bring about polycrisis, where people are put in a position of increasing difficulty with pressure from above, of them cutting off their means of livelihood, and pressure from below, where their families are pressuring them for food to eat. This is pressure from above, pressure from below, called the Hegelian dialectic. This Hegelian dialectic simply is like polycrisis, where you have no choice but and force you into a corner to make a bad decision. Okay, under pressure. And this is where they want to put you, to where you're pressured, to take these things. Right? No one will enter the New World Order unless he or she will make a pledge to worship Lucifer. No one will enter the New Age unless he will take a Luciferian initiation. And this Luciferian initiation, okay, is the subcutaneous implantation of biotechnology. Now remember, okay, Donald Trump said, what is it? Let me see, 6G technology, 6G network. 6G technology Trump. Boom. Boom. Winning the 6G race, right? All right. Hold on. Let me see. Damn it. I can't see anything anymore. It's too bright. What the hell? Man, come on, man. All right, ready? Right? I think that's right here at the top, right? Section 1, the purpose. The next generation, God damn it. Come on now. The next generation of mobile communications network, 6G, will be foundational to the national security, foreign policy, and economical prosperity of the United States. This technology will play a pivotal role in the development and adoption of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, robotics, and implantable technologies. Okay? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You must have missed that. You missed that, didn't you? Wait a minute. This is straight from where? The White House. Oh, shit. Okay, let's pull this up here so I can make sure you read it. Okay, the next generation of mobile communications at the top, networks 6G, will be foundational to the national security, foreign policy, and economic prosperity of the United States. This technology will play a pivotal role in the development and adoption of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, Neuralink, robotics, Neuralink, robotic Neuralink will implant the Neuralink in your brain, and implantable technologies, the subcutaneous RFID implantation NFC RFID chip underneath your skin. Right? 6G will also provide faster, more resilient, and more secure communication networks that can be utilized for national security and public safety purposes. Okay? Now, let's go back and get a biblical scripture on that. Okay, shall we? Alrighty. Let's go. You know where I'm headed. At 100 miles an hour. Right? You already know. Yep. Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. And he is given power to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast will even appear to speak through draconian law, okay, making it mandatory, and cause those who do not bow down and worship, or in other words, if you don't capitulate and be pressured to take the chip, or the Elon Musk brain chip, in order to participate in a cashless society, right? And worship, to bow down and worship means to willingly participate, okay? The image of the beast, which is the cashless society, to be put to death. What that means, being put to death, means that they'll cut you off from participating in society, okay? They'll treat you like a pariah, like typhoid Mary, black plague, people that have leprosy. They'll put your ass way over there. You know where the way over there is at? FEMA camps. They have detention centers for those that are not willing to participate. Okay, within these centers, they have incinerators. Let's go back and see. Let's see if I'm lying. Okay, let's go back. Hold on. Get off them up there. Get. Okay, let's see. Detention centers with incinerators. Boom. All right, hold on. Based on reports from July 2025, rumors circulated online, particularly on TikTok, alleging that incinerators were being installed in the Alligator Alcatraz Migrant Detention Center in the Florida Everglades. Right? Now, you see, we know Google, ChatGPT is compromised because they're not going to tell you the truth. They're just going to give you an opportunity to go look for it yourself. Okay? Official denial. The Department of Homeland Security officially debunked the claim, calling it disgusting and false. Okay? And okay, let me see if I can find it. Alrighty, let's go here, see if I can find it. Incinerators in FEMA camps. Boom. Okay. Bullshit, see? Where is it at? FEMA camps, you see what I'm saying? Look.
I'm Giacomo Luca in Gridley. It's a project 2.5 months in the making, but now FEMA is putting the finishing touches on a community for 400 families that will house campfire survivors.
Yeah, but you can't leave, asshole. You can't leave when you want to.
At Walden University, get
Get the W. Stand out the minute you start learning industry-valued skills for in-demand careers. Get the W
there's nothing I can do, man, with
micro-cred
these goddamn
certificates and
commercials.
field
I'm trying to get this
experience.
done
Show
as quick
off
as I
your
can,
career readiness and mojo
but
before you even
I'm
graduate.
stuck with
Get the W.
commercials.
Even when business owners supposedly
goddamn
take a vacation, they're not
Nothing
on
I can do.
vacation. Their brains won't let them forget the business. While we can't fix that problem, Patriot Software makes your accounting and payroll accessible with your phone.
See, there's nothing I can do, people. Okay. Where is that, man? Oh, they took it down. They took it down. They took him down, y'all. Hey, man, I found it. Motherfucker, man, in a week? God damn, that was too quick. They took it down. Right? See? I mean, look, man, this is shit that they already got. Where do you think they're putting all the illegal migrants, man? So-called. Okay, what do you, tent cities? Oh, there we go.
So the other week on the show, we talked about how they are currently building a bunch of former warehouses that they're retrofitting to become ICE concentration camps, where the funding massively tortured. They were so, not only that, when you're sick, okay, medical and death, the services extend to medical waste management with specific protocols for biohazard incinerators. So in the reporting on this from Migrant Insider, again, I'll read this for you one more time. In fact, here, I'll click it and make it bigger. In other words, in Trump's network of concentration camps, they're building incinerators. 4,000 people are missing from ICE custody, lawyers. One of them is treating of all the prep. Every day you get a new.
I think he had a video. He had a video on here.
1,500-person concentration camp for children. The mayor of Oakwood said he had no child, Oakwood,
Hold on,
in my
what did you say?
backyard.
What would wake you up, unless you're actually getting shoved into the gas chambers or into the incinerators, as it was. I also wanted to show you guys this, okay? Some of these warehouses, there's now chatter about some of them being specifically for kids. Watch this. Here we go.
Donald Trump and ICE and Homeland Security are building a concentration camp for kids in my backyard. No, I'm not joking. I live in a town called Gainesville, Georgia, and right on the outskirts of Gainesville is a tiny little parcel called Oakwood, Georgia, where ICE is planning on opening a 1,500-person concentration camp for children. The mayor of Oakwood said he had no choice. The federal government pushed this on him, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I've reached out to 7th District Representative Rich McCormick. So to be fair, I haven't heard back from him. I emailed him and said we need a town hall on this to discuss this, because if this goes through, there will be protests every single day at this facility as they bring immigrant children into this concentration camp. That, by the way, I know this building. It is not built to house human beings. It was built for warehousing. There's a big difference. This is a concentration camp. I can't even believe this is going to be in my backyard. This is a little town in Northeast Georgia. It's not a rich town. It's not a fancy town. It's a little town on a lake. And the people are wonderful. And the hardest working people I know.
He just told us where this motherfucking camp is at. We can go out there and take pictures and film and see if these motherfuckers are, and look in through the window and see if these motherfuckers are actually putting little babies to death.
Are immigrants, and they're everywhere in this town. They will literally rip this town to pieces the way they tried to rip Minneapolis to pieces. But you know what? Just like the Minnesotans, we will fight back. ICE, stay out of Georgia. If you don't, you're going to regret it. Because the videos of you putting children into a concentration camp are going to go all over social media, and I'll be one of the first people there on a regular basis taking video and showing it to my millions of followers across social media.
And we've already seen examples of that. You guys remember in the crop rhythm, click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop.
So, yeah. FEMA death camps, right?
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day.
Shut up.
All right, let's go to your voicemail. Our voicemail line is open 24 time of day. Here's a couple of voicemails. Take a listen to the first one.
That was a powerful letter from Beth you read on your show yesterday.
I want to thank her for having the courage and intellectual power
Yeah.
to follow her convictions and do the right thing for herself and this country. The letter really resonated with me. I had a staunch Republican upbringing. My grandfather was a Republican state senator, and my uncle is a retired judge. He was a lifelong Republican, but he voted for Obama twice. I voted for Reagan recession.
Yeah, I mean, it's very often to here. Listen to this.
Hey, David and Lewis. John here. Love the show. I have a quick question, though. On some mailboxes, there are stickers or small reflectors. Does this have anything to do with FEMA camps?
Right. Yes, referencing a recent Patriot mail where there was some kind of conspiracy about FEMA death camps. I don't know for sure, Lewis, but I think that those reflectors on mailboxes are simply to avoid having cars hit them. And I think they're totally unrelated.
Now, we all know that that's bullshit. Okay, if you've got a yellow circle on your mailbox, that means that they don't deem you as a threat. If you've got a red on your mailbox, you are at the top of the list for summary execution when martial law goes into effect. If you have a blue dot, okay, on your mailbox, you're going to be brought into the FEMA camp for questioning and torture. Okay, if you have a green dot, then more than likely you're one of the individuals that are going to take the radio frequency identification chip or whatever the fuck they mandate in order for you to continue to participate in society. Okay, that's the bottom line. Right? Hold on.
Homeless people will be shuttled into temporary shelters in Golden Hill. Good evening, I'm Vanessa Van Hefty. It is being set up at the City Operations Yard at 20th and B Streets. 10 News reporter Hannah Mullins is live with the concern amid a deadly hepatitis A outbreak. Hannah.
And Vanessa, this area is fenced off with barbed wire up here. It's also blocked off by another fence below. They've been setting up tents at the transitional camp area, and they'll start by bringing in women and kids tomorrow morning.
This is the land God forgot.
Stay there and sleep.
Large chunks of East Village festering with filth, and Hep A has made the streets more septic.
I have slept right here. I've slept right here. Detoxing from heroin, sick, just disgusted with myself.
That's been Charles Roberta's life for 17 years.
I call it the dread. When you wake up in the morning and it's like you're outside. You don't know if someone's going to bust you over your head and try and rob you for what little you have.
The county counts more than 9,000 homeless people, and about 1,000 are vets. Michael Bear is haunted by sickening smells of Vietnam.
It smelled like burning skin, flesh. It always lingered there.
He says.
See? So they're putting in the homeless there, getting rid of the homeless population, right? Then they're putting illegal immigrants in there. Damn, I wish I could find that video where it showed sand incinerators.
Need better internet? Cox Internet has the fast, reliable.
So the Trump regime is seeing 2 warehouses totaling over 600,000 square feet. The town...
Hold on. The city manager of Oakwood, Georgia, says he was given just days' notice that a massive federal immigration detention facility is set to open inside the small North Georgia community. Now, the Edomite that was just talking about that is in Oakwood. He was just talking about this. This is just a different video saying the same thing from a different perspective. The facility, comprised of a pair of warehouses totaling more than 600,000 square feet, is expected to hold 1,500 detainees. But okay. That's
given 3 days' notice. 3. And that is not even an outlier. Reports indicate roughly 24 former warehouses are being retrofitted across the country to expand ICE detention capacity. Now, if you're thinking that warehouse systems or anything resembling adequate living conditions, they're boxes, they're concrete and corrugated metal, and they're being filled with people. Yet here's where it gets worse. A report from an outlet called Migrant Insider, which has been documenting conditions inside these facilities, surfaced planning documents that include this line: medical and death. The services extend to medical waste management with specific protocols for
See? All over again. We just got through reading it on Kyle Kalinske, right? Medical and death. They got surveillance and control, life support, and infrastructure, right? Medical and death. The services extend to medical waste management, management with specific protocols for biohazard incinerators and certified inventory of evidence reports for full-service laundry operations. Okay, so what are they going to do? They're going to wash the clothing, throw them in the trash, put them in the incinerator. Okay, after you've been decapitated, because they're going to come in with these guillotines, because there's over 50,000 guillotines that have been put inside the United States. Okay. Now, no, not 50,000, but 30,000. I think it's 30,000 guillotines are smart guillotines have been put into the United States since 2017 or 2018 during that was the transition between the Obama and the Trump administration, the first time Trump was president. Okay, they delivered 30,000 guillotines within the United States, and as a matter of fact, I think I got proof of that. Hold on, let me see. Let me go back to my receipt folder. I might have it. Yep, got it. Yep, that's all. Hold on, come on. Open, piece of shit. All right. Okay, let's read it. Surviving torture during martial law. Right? Okay, now we got Revelation chapter 20, verse 4 through 6. Okay. The use of guillotines for governmental purposes was lobbied in the U.S. Congress. The information we received is that 15,000 are currently stored in Georgia, and the other 15,000 in Montana. Right? The beheadings of Muslims today are meant to desensitize us, and it's going to make government beheadings in the future. Okay, I'm sorry, I was only able to take half of the picture. Okay. Think about this. Why does the U.S. government need 30,000 guillotines and over 600 million rounds of hollow point bullets? Now, they've went from 600 million to 4 billion rounds of hollow point bullets between 2017 and now. There are over 800 prison camps in the United States, all fully operational and ready to receive prisoners. They are all staffed and even surrounded by prison guards, but they're all empty. These camps are to be operated by FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, should martial law need to be implemented in the United States. All it would take is a presidential signature on a proclamation and the Attorney General's signature on a warrant to which a list of names is attached. Okay? Real shit. Okay? So, yeah, this is where they have them all. You can go and do research on your own, whatever. Okay? But yeah, I took this picture of this video when I first got this telephone way back. Okay. I had to go get it. But anyway, yeah. Okay.
Biohazard incinerators and certified inventory of evidence reports for full service laundry operations.
So what I mean by that, once they decapitate you, they scoop out all of your internal organs, your lungs, your kidneys, all your intestines, all of your internal organs, right? And throw you into the incinerator. And throw your clothes over there in order to make the rest of the individuals comfortable. Okay? So this way it would be a smooth process of getting all of these internal organs and putting them on ice. Right? And shipping them all over the fucking country. That's what they did at Alligator Alcatraz. Okay? They made that FEMA camp right next to a fucking airport. A landing strip. Okay? Anybody ever paid attention to that? Okay. No, probably not. I get it. Okay. Salakia.
Religious thing you're going to have to accept that is contrary to the will of God and contrary to ship without some type of and because that's how it could be the type of thing that they get to the point where you just don't even have to carry credit cards or actually take chrism and you version of that. So it's going to be something in our bodies that is going to be that will give us access to these particular things. Okay.
Like Neuralink.
No, like it would be something similar to that, or it could just be something like an RFID chip, which then, you just be able to walk in and they can scan it. They know who you are and they know that you can have access to the food and things of that sort. It could be the type of thing that they'll get to the point where you just don't even have to carry credit cards, or even that, your bank account will just be linked to this chip that's in you. And because that's how they could actually do it. The thing, though, is that the fathers of the church say that you're not going to be able to get that chip without some type of renunciation of Christ.
Okay. So not only do you, in order to get that initiation into the New World Order, you have to renounce that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You have to renounce that whatever fucking God that you're worshiping in order to get something to eat. The only way you're going to get something to eat if you've been put into this FEMA camp is to take the radio frequency identification microchip. That's the only way. Other than that, fuck you. You understand? And if I was you, I wouldn't even do it. I'd just take my death manfully. Because the Most High ain't playing. He ain't playing with you. This is your judgment. Right? The Most High is not going to have any pity. He's sending death angels. Okay, let's go get it. Where's it at? Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and 28. Salakia. Right? There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when the need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. Right? So they're going to do what God told them to do. God told them to kick your ass and kill you off, you fuck. Come on, man. Wow, Satan is at work, ain't he? 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the powers that shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a moment. We just got through reading that in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 38, verse 29, right? But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. In other words, they're going to be hard-headed and going about their life doing all kind of stupid shit like they're doing right now. TikTok, dancing around, flailing around like a goddamn fish out of water. Stupid shit, man. Behold, victuals, which is food, shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, right? Because it's not affecting them directly right now. But as time goes forward with the closing of the Strait of Hormuz, you're going to start seeing prices rise. You're already seeing gas prices rise. The prices in the grocery store are going to start to rise. Then you're going to start to see the full storehouses suddenly be found empty. Okay? Then even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And you see that right now. If you go to Newsbreak, there's some kind of evil jumping the fuck off. A woman drowned her kids and killed herself. A husband killed his whole family and himself because he lost his fucking job. You have a woman that chopped her mother to pieces. All kinds of shit jumping off on Newsbreak. Man, I could go over to Newsbreak and show you some of this stuff that just comes across my feed for me to make videos, man. It's every 5 minutes some weird bullshit is jumping off in the United States. Okay, every 5 minutes they just dropping shit, man. If you hear my notification go off on my videos, that's Newsbreak. Somebody got killed or murdered, or there was a death of some celebrity or something, right? Famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for a moment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. Okay? Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. right? Which takes us back to Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 6, where the Lord told the angels, the destroying angels, slay utterly old and young, maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man that has the mark, the Pt.1, the mark of exemption from judgment on their foreheads, and begin at my sanctuary. So the only people that have the Pt.1 or the mark of exemption are those that know the name of the Most High God, whose name is Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. I will go get a receipt on that right quick. Soon as I get to it, I will get you a receipt on that right away, or as well as fast as I can get to it. Boom. Boom. There you go. Let's get you a receipt of the Father and the Son's name. In the ancient Paleo-Hebrew, without the Masoretic text vowel points, dots and dashes above and below the letters, effectively changing the effectiveness of what the words actually mean, because it takes the strength and iron out of the actual words that was originally designed to put fear in you of the Most High God. With the Masoretic text and the vowel points above and below the Assyrian square Hebrew, it effectively changes the meaning of the words and takes the strength and iron out of the word. Okay? So this way, and there's a warning against that in the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 18. If any man take or add anything to this book, what the plagues will be added to him that are written in this book. If any man take anything out of the words of the power of this book, then his name will be scratched out of the book of life, and he'll be taken out, and it'll be cast out of the congregation, or roughly paraphrased. Because I could go and get it. As a matter of fact, I'll go get it then. How's that? All right, hold on. Let me see. Boom. Let's go get it. Revelation chapter 22, verse 18. Okay? I testify and warn anyone who hears the words of the prophecy of this book, its predictions, consolations, and admonitions. If anyone adds anything to them, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai will add to him the plagues, afflictions, calamities that are written in this book. Verse 19. If anyone takes away from or distorts the words of this book from this prophecy, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai will take away from that person, that one, his share from the tree of life and from the holy city, New Jerusalem, which are written in this book. Okay? So that is a warning to the children of Israel. Watch what you're doing, watch what you're saying. But the other individuals are wild brute beasts, because the Most High looks at them as wild brute beasts, all of the other heathen nations, because the law, statutes, and commandments were not given to them. So he doesn't have any respect for those people, because they don't have the law. The law was given unto a specific individual, Abraham, and through his seed, from father to son, generationally, was given to Isaac, his firstborn, and then it was given after Isaac to Jacob. It was originally supposed to go to Esau, but he sold his birthright, because that's his birthright, that covenantal promise betwixt Abraham and the Most High. Esau sold it for one morsel of meat. He sold it for the modern day equivalent to a fucking pot roast. So this idiot does not deserve any discernment and spiritual wisdom, understanding, or anything from the Most High God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the creator of the heavens, the earth, the sea, all that is therein, and the foundations of water. Okay? Oh, I was there. I was just there, wasn't I? It's in 2nd Ezra. Tripping. Okay, hold on. 2nd Ezra. Right? Chapter 14, verse 13. Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from thee mortal thoughts, and cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. This is the reason why the men that have the mark of exemption from judgment, the Thawa, standing on risk and risking their lives and their freedom, standing on street corners, with full of wisdom and understanding, and out of their belly is flowing rivers of living water, which is the word, with the proper breakdown of what the Most High is trying to convey through his people. And our people are hard-headed and stiff-necked to this day. They will not come to the mouth of the Lord to see what they need to do in order to avoid punishment. of the wrath of the Most High God. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And they don't give a shit. They want to continue doing whatever they're doing. They get paid. Okay, when I lose my job, then I'll worry. I get paid, blah, blah. You know, what are you going to do when your paper money that you're getting is completely worthless and useless? And hyperinflation jumps in and you got to take your half your fucking paycheck just to buy groceries, if not the whole thing. You have people experiencing that shit right now, man. It takes their entire goddamn paycheck just to buy groceries to feed their children. They ain't got the money to pay the fucking rent because they just used it to buy groceries. How are they going to put gas in their car to get to work? You see what I'm saying? Verse, right. 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 14. Let go from the mortal thoughts and cast away the burdens of man, and put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those that thou hast seen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. You see? That's our point. Okay? Right? Salakia. 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 55. Because our people are hard-headed and they won't listen. Right? And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous, and said in their heart that there is no power, and that knowing that they must die. Because, like it says in 2 Corinthians, let's go get it. 2 Corinthians, where am I at? Boom. Chapter 5, verse 10. Right? Hold on. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Hamashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. Okay? AMP. For we believers will be called to account and must all appear before the judgment seat of Hamashiach, so that each one may be repaid for what was done in the body, whether good or bad. That is, each will be held responsible for his actions, purposes, goals, motives, the use or misuse of the time, his time, opportunities, and abilities. So you see, while the doors of grace and mercy are open, it would behoove you to get this truth while you can. Right? Okay. Let's go get it. Isaiah chapter 55. Right? Verse 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, for he will abundantly pardon. Okay? Let the wicked leave behind his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return to the Lord, and he will have compassion or mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. Okay? Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call on him for salvation while he is near. Because when the doors of mercy are closed, Jacob's trouble is going to jump off. They're going to push this mark of the RFID microchip beast bullshit, push martial law. Okay? You're going to be put on a curfew. They're going to be having choke points on every street corner, in and out of your fucking neighborhood. You're going to, before you get on any highway, or when you get off of any highway, okay, you have to go through a checkpoint to check to see if you got the mark of the fucking beast, man. That's where you're coming to. This is the time that you're in. So while the doors of mercy are open, you should be trying to be on your knees asking the Lord for mercy. Right? But you ain't going to do it, you hard-headed monkey. I ain't mad at you. You're just stupid, that's all. 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 59. Right? For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them, for it was not his will that men should come to naught. But they which he have created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee. So the Most High is only looking for his elect. Okay? Let's find out who the elect are. Isaiah, went the wrong book. Isaiah chapter 45, where you at? Verse 4. Boom. for Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel my chosen. I have also called you by your name. I have given you an honorable name, though you have not known me. I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no power except me. I will embrace and arm you, though you have not known me, that people may know from the rising of the setting of the sun, the world over, in other words, that there is no one except me. I am the Lord, and there is no other, the one forming light and creating darkness, causing peace and creating disaster. I am the Lord who does all these things. Okay? So, right? For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect. Right? KJV. I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, although thou hast not known me. So the Most High is only coming for a certain amount or specific amount of individuals, man. That's it. He ain't coming for everybody with that rapture doctrine bullshit. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, who is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man that smite us all the time. Oh, that come up with contradictory statements concerning who we are, concerning who they are, blaming us for their actions. Okay? And putting food and poisons into defiling our bread. Right? But shall stay upon the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. For the Most High God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the God of hosts, will execute a complete destruction, one that is decreed in the midst of all the land. Right? 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off and die, as it is written in Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8 and 9. Okay? So without further, I'm going to go ahead and get off this video. I've been on it too long. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rahabah Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth to rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.